Russia and U.S. agree to work toward ending Ukraine war in a remarkable diplomatic shift. Russia and the U.S. agreed Tuesday to start working toward ending the war in Ukraine and improving their diplomatic and economic ties. The two countries' top diplomats said after talks that reflected an extraordinary about-face in U.S. foreign policy under President Donald Trump. In an interview with the Associated Press after the meeting of U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the two sides agreed broadly to pursue three goals: to restore staffing at the respective embassies in Washington and Moscow, to create a high-level team to support the Ukraine peace talks, and to explore closer relations and economic cooperation. He stressed, however, that the talks which were attended by his Russian counterpart, Sergei Lavrov, and other senior Russian and U.S. officials marked the beginning of a conversation, and more work needs to be done. Lavrov echoed Rubio's remarks and told reporters that the conversation was very useful. We not only listened, but we also heard each other, he said. Trump's national security advisor, Michael Waltz, and Special Mideast envoy Stephen Witkoff joined Rubio at the table, along with Lavrov and Russian President Vladimir Putin's foreign affairs advisor, Yuri Yushkov. So, I mean, they had these talks, and they didn't even invite Ukraine.
Yeah, they was like, nah, you ain't got to. They don't need to be there.
Why would you have talks with two countries that are warring and not invite the other side unless you decided to sell out the other side already?
Yeah, well, I mean, like I've said before many a times, like you're stark supporter of Ukraine, because what they have there is a lot of stuff that we use here in America. And I said like this: the war would have been over in 2 weeks if Europe or NATO wasn't helping Ukraine. So Donald Trump's like, hey, we don't need them here. What are they going to do? If we stop giving them weapons, they'll fall. You know what I'm saying? He slipped Zelensky the note like, yo, I'm going to need 50% of the minerals.
Yeah, dude's a Russian shield, period. That's what he is. Him and his whole team are puppeting Russian talking points. Russia has never been our ally. They will never be our ally. When you're fighting for the top spot, there's no room for compromise at the end of the day. I mean, some compromise, but there's really none. You know what I mean? You got too many different choke points that need to be secure. Russia's fighting for Africa. They're fighting for the same minerals. They're fighting for their very existence on this earth. That's why he keeps talking about, too many people are dying, because Russia already has a declining population. They cannot afford to lose 1 million people in a war that they know they should have been won this war. I mean, when you look, it's not about what they have in Kiev. It's about who Russia is, what they're trying to recreate. If we want to go back into what the Cold War used to be, let them reform the former Russian Federation and have the most oil reserves in the world, have the most natural gas. Because if they take back Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, all those places, people don't really realize what this is. We're going to be at war with them soon. Either you let somebody else fight them or you fight them yourself. Ukraine, this war would have never happened, but Ukraine gave up 2,500 warheads. They had the most amount of warheads in the entire world. They gave them up to Russia for security guarantees, and now look where they're at. Let's be real here. This is why. You think they would have invaded Ukraine if Ukraine still had those 2,500 warheads?
Nope.
That would have never happened.
Because whoever got a warhead got a seat at the table. And since they ain't got the warheads, they didn't have a seat at the table.
Period. And that's kind of what's going on here. We are backing away. No one will ever trust America again. We're going to lose all of our European allies, which is
We already lost them. NATO, Europe they look at us as adversaries now.
What do you think is going to happen in the South China Sea? What do you think is going to happen with those countries that are on the fence, the Vietnams, all the other countries that are on the fence about who they're going to go with? They're going to go with China. We're done. This dude set us up. If we don't know that, we don't see this by now, that this person right here is hurting America. You're trying to save Russia. Well, Russia tried to save us. What about Afghanistan? We were there. When they were there, we fought against them when they were there in 79, 80.
Bounties on our soldiers during Trump's last presidency, and he didn't do nothing about it.
Our
countries, we're being sold out right now for a dollar. That's basically what's going on right now.
Period.
And I mean, it's going to get worse for a lot of people, and we're going to keep you updated about it because, hey, what else are we supposed to do? We are the news here with you.